beginning in 2025, between the ages of 60 and 63 for your 401k, they have moved. It's only between the ages of 60 and 63.
This is how Cleveland. This is why there's the Congress is like, come on, guys.
And it only starts in 2025. You can put in 150% of the maximum
into your 401k,
including the catch-up. So somewhere close to $38,000 into the 401k. It doesn't affect IRAs.
Only it's more than that because it's with the catch-up. It's about let's call it roughly $30,000.
Yes, and then 150% of 30 is
$45,000.
Yeah, somewhere around 45. So, I sharing with my wife, I'm like, this catch-up provision starts in 20. She said, well, why don't we go back? Why didn't we do this in 2024 and 2023? And I said, well, it wasn't allowed. She said, why wasn't it allowed? I said, I don't even know why they allow it this year.
Because which tax act was that part of? The jobs reduction, jobs, whatever that Jobs Act was. That's where they had the changes to the retirement plans, RMDs and some of those things. And like where does this stuff come from?
Between 60 and 63. Not 64.
No. Too bad. You didn't catch up. Too bad.
Right, not 65. Not
the irony of it all, if you could already put in $30,000 a year, right? How many people are really having to catch up? And the ones that are catching up are probably the ones that already have more in their retirement accounts than they need, right? I mean, it's one of those.
So if you're employed and you're between the ages of 60 and 63, you should do two things. One is if you can afford to increase the contribution. And two,
well, even if you could.
If you have to spend money down.
That's right.
Depending upon what your marginal tax rate is.
At a minimum, a Roth.
Yes.
Right? So if maybe you're overfunded in your 401k, but at a minimum, you can stick it into a Roth. And it's just like taking money out of your savings and throwing it into a Roth.
And even if you're having to spend money down from a savings account. And then the second thing you should do is sign up for our newsletter because, and you've been reading our newsletter, you would have read this article last week in our newsletter about changes in
tax code. And it's a monthly newsletter, we were corrected. Unless you're a client, we have a client communication piece on a weekly basis.
Is it monthly? You sign up for our newsletter. It comes out on a regular basis.
It's regular. We're not quite sure how regular. I think it was, you got the same email I did.
I did.
We both scanned the email. I'm sometimes guilty of not reading an entire email.
I read most of what Brad sends, but I don't recall what it was.